But what's interesting about the question, what is Britishness, is precisely the fact that nobody seems to know. It's gold for a columnist. It's gold for any hack. And you've seen 4 people on this panel are probably going to give completely different answers. Anybody you ask in this audience is going to give a different answer. If you ask David Cameron, it's about tolerance and fairness and inviting French people in to take advantage of our lenient tax system. If you ask a pupil at Wellington College, growing up in these lovely surroundings, they'll tell you probably about the excellent teaching here, but they will also tell you about grime and dubstep and whatever it is they're listening to. If you ask me, and I've actually recently been living in America for a while, so I get asked this question quite a lot, and I bring up things like the taste of fish and chips on Brighton Beach and Doctor Who and drinking tea. That's what it is for me. If you ask somebody like my colleague Professor Starkey, it's playing xenophobia and racial prejudice for laughs. And if you ask people who organise conferences like this, it's sitting by politely whilst people play racial prejudice and xenophobia for laughs and pretending that this is an acceptable part of contemporary debate.
We're setting up a false dichotomy here between Britishness and Englishness. They're not
There's
at all.
An absolute dichotomy. The two are completely different. There is a historic English identity which goes way back before the concept of Britain. Also, this notion of England, or indeed Britain, as uniquely a nation of immigrants is preposterous. That every European country is a blend. Of course it is. There are two great differences.
I believe you have a house in America, Mr. Starkey.
I have a house in America.
I was wondering, where are you domiciled for tax purposes?
I am domiciled here, and I pay full taxes. And can I just say, as you have chosen to be personal and invidious, let me share a little story with you. One of the great things that is essential to Britishness is a sense of public duty, that you do things for nothing with organisations that can't pay. Ms. Penny, who has been advertising these great left-wing virtues, and I were due to debate for a very impoverished little society called the Thomas Paine Society on the virtues of a republic on the one hand and a monarchy on the other. I was prepared to do it for free. She insisted on trying to charge such a large fee that the event had to be cancelled. Now, I think that is as mean and grasping as some runt comedian, and I will not be lectured to by a jumped-up public school girl like you. I came from the bottom, and I will not have it.
Excuse me. May I respond to that?
Right of reply. Go on.
I think I deserve a right of reply to that. I personally feel that asking to be paid...
Did you or did you not do what I've just said?
I was going to respond to that, but...
Why not do it straight away? Did you or did you not claim such a large fee that the event had to be cancelled?
No, I didn't, Mrs.
Well,
Starkey.
then every member of the committee is lying, and you, clearly as usual, are telling the truth.
No, this is not what was said to me.
I have emails. That wonderful,
all right.
wonderful method of
Respond to it, Laurie.
No, I don't think I'm going to respond to it. One of the reasons the event was cancelled partly because they couldn't find a speaker in time because they were trying to fly me out, and part of the reason that the cost for that on top of my being asked to be paid for 2 days' work because I actually don't earn very much. Well,
No, she backed out because she wasn't being paid.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
we're running over time, but I want to come back.
I really don't appreciate being stood on stage to be personally attacked and having a finger
I want
jabbed
to
in
come
my
back
face.
to Englishness versus Britishness, but Vivian.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but I think the point.
I think I'd like to say something about Britishness in terms of what's just gone on here, which I feel like we've been moving on very quickly from. But I attempted to make a point and had a person on this panel shouting and pointing in my face. And in fact, the point that Professor Starkey raised about my dropping out of the panel where we were due to speak together, my main reason for doing so is that I didn't want something like that to happen. I felt that I was being set up to be attacked, and part of the reason I decided to... This is a difficult thing to say, and it's easier to say to event organisers that you're going to charge a ridiculous sum of money and be asked, and well, not necessarily ridiculous, but be asked to go.
All right.
On the other, excuse me. I haven't finished my point. My point is that this is what debates like this come down to. There's a civil way of putting putting racial prejudice. There is also I'm sorry.
Okay, Laurie. I want to final word.
I wanted to say that there's